got to stand up strong, face the truth about themselves, to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up, stand up.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I'm Jesse Lee Peterson. Good morning. Hi, y'all. Welcome to the show. It's Friday again. Already Friday again. You can get involved by calling 888-7753-773, 888-77-JESSE, Jesse, Jesse. My biblical question, the biblical question for this week, and it's a doozy. Do you have morals and values? Do you have morals and values? If so, where do you find them? If so, where do you find them? We have every way that you can watch and support the show listed on JesseLeePeterson.com/show, JesseLeePeterson.com/show. And if you're out and about, you're busy, land up at a beach, or whatever, breaking through the border down in Texas, running over the military down there, National Guards, no respect or fear of the National Guard, just running them down, tearing down the wire, and running over the National Guard, and they can't do anything about it. You still could be listening to the show on your iPhone or iPad by calling the listen line at 641-793-1500. That's 641-793-1500. Follow us, JLP Talk on X, JLP Talk on X, and Jesse Lee Peterson on Instagram. JLP Talk on X and Jesse Lee Peterson on Instagram. Like, follow, ring the bell, subscribe, and y'all know what to do. And to donate and have your comments read out loud, go to Buy Me a Coffee. BuyMeACoffee.com/JLP or RebuildingTheMan.com. RebuildingTheMan.com. And I do appreciate it. It's Friday. And every Friday is Get It Off Your Chest Day. Every Friday is Get It Off Your Chest Day. Every Friday is whatever is on your mind. Express yourself Friday.
You Tom like a mug. You need to go and get yourself bleached, because everything you say about black people, and you're sitting up there looking like a tar baby.
It might sound like a semantics argument, but he's a gray alien.
I wonder if he's been smoking pot.
For some people, losing a pet is like losing a member of the family. It can be tough, and one local man is honoring his best friend in a unique way.
Cody was a real special dog with a great personality.
Bird.
That's what makes it so hard, because he was just a great dog.
Cody's Bill wanted to remember his four-legged friend by having him cremated at a local funeral home.
When one of their pets pass away, that involves a grievous situation. McComb & Sons is here to serve people that have situations involving grief.
When I was coming, I was kind of torn about how to say goodbye, and then someone told me that McComb offered this service.
What the? It's interesting that people bury dogs too. When I was growing up and a dog died, you just throw it out in the woods. And I guess the wild animals ate it. And now people bury dogs. Now they're being cremated. Human. That is not normal. We go outside, the dog dead. Mama, the dog is dead. Oh yeah, throw it out there in the woods. And flies would be all over the dead dog body. And we would just throw it out in the woods. Isn't that amazing? Now you're spending your money because you are unconscious, you're in an animal state, you're paying to cremate them. Just think of the funeral homes that are making buku money off your false emotions. The dog body, carcasses, whatever you call it, would just go back to dust, and you can save your money. But I understand. You have an animal mentality, and you think the animal is feeling what you're feeling. It's amazing, but I understand. And he put up dog pictures and a mayor doing that. Grandpa tell me about the good old days. And then the people know how to make money off your emotions concerning a dog or animal. I can't make it. I gotta have something to remember the dog, my best friend. That's because they realize human beings are not your friends. So animal, you pretend the animal, you don't feed the animal and see what happens. What the? Anyway, the border situation is not a joke. It's amazing to me too, but I understand it. The border situation between the United States and Mexico is not a joke. Isn't that amazing? And what's interesting, election times are coming up, and you would think that the Democrats, along with the Republicans, but the Democrat would shut down the borders temporarily until they see if they're going to be reelected or not. But they're not doing that because they want these people in and hope they'll make it in time to get the votes. And what's interesting to me is that somebody have told the illegal aliens that you can break into the United States and they can't touch you. You can walk all over the National Guard. We have a weak, pathetic military now. You can walk all over the National Guards, and they're not going to do anything. Push them back, tear down the wire, and stomp over the National Guards, and they're not going to do anything. The National Guard, the military of America, is weak. And I don't blame the men for being weak. I blame the people who are over the military now. They're forcing the guys to be weak. And somehow or another, the illegal aliens have been told that around the world. And they're coming in like they own the country. As though they own the country. May God have mercy on my country. It's gone. It's way, way gone now. The border mess is no joke. Some of you may have seen this, some of you may have not, because I know some liberal media is not reporting it. This is from the New York Post. A group of over 100 migrants attempting to enter the U.S. illegally rushed a border wall Thursday, breaking through razor wire What? I played it before I should have. Okay. New York Post. A group of over 100 migrants attempted to enter the U.S. illegally rushed a border wall Thursday, breaking through razor wire and knocking over guards. They're walking all over the military. They don't care. Watch this from X. Isn't that amazing? Look at the military running. And eventually, I'm told they eventually get in. They eventually get in through that wall, and it's still not an invasion. These are just friendly people coming over to visit. They're coming over for lunch, and they'll be leaving us right after lunch. It's not an invasion, they say. And then you have to pretend to not think, to think that it's not an invasion as well. What a mess. The military is so weak. The military men were running. And they're letting these people in for money, for votes, and to turn America into a socialist society, to control the people. And at one time, they used to say, we want the illegals over here so that they can work for us cheap labor, they say. But it's beyond that now. A lot of the illegals are coming in, they're not even getting jobs. They're not looking for jobs because they get everything free. They get it free. Why should they have to look for work? And according to some report, they're letting the terrorists in as well. It's only gonna get worse, folks. What are you gonna do if and when, God forbid, there's a terrorist attack? Will you stand up then and say no to the government? We're not gonna vote you in. You're out of their office. We know that you don't care about us. And they say that the illegal aliens are good for the economy. And so if they're good for the economy, why didn't they make the economy better in their own country? Why did they come here to be good for the economy, but not in their own country? And if they're good for the economy, how come we have to pay for them? The Epoch Time, or Epic Time, according to a March 19 federal court document, a member of the terrorist group Hezbollah was caught entering illegally at the Texas border, where he told agents he was plotting to make a bomb once settled in the country. He was plotting to make a bomb once settled in the country. He told a Texas border agent that he was taught to kill people who were not Muslims. He was taught to kill people who were not Muslims. Isn't that amazing? Look at them rushing the border, pushing the guards out of the way. Why don't the guards tase them or something? They look like mostly males. This is not overseas somewhere, folks. This is in the USA, right down the road. And you're dumb enough to keep voting the same people in. And then you complain. You're getting what you voted for. And they're still fighting, trying to send our money over to Ukraine. You really need to see that they're doing nothing to make America better. Their fight is to help other countries for whatever reason. And I believe there's money behind that for them. The government, the representatives of our government care 2 cents about the people. They don't care about we the people at all, none of them. Republicans or Democrats. The only one that does care about the country is Donald Trump, the great white hope. And they're trying desperately to keep him away because he does care. He wants to make the country better. And they don't want that. They don't want anyone to make the country better. That's why if you notice, whenever you try to improve your life, make your life better, don't your family and people around you attack you to stop you? They don't want you as an individual to make your life better. Who do you think you are? You're not better than us. Stay in hell with us. Same thing in government. It's no different. It's the same spirit. Satan and his little demons working through human beings do not want you as an individual to have a true life. And likewise, Satan working through human beings in government do not want you to be free in America. They want you in hell. It's all about that, whether you know it or not. And I understand most people don't know it because they're so busy living in their hell, they don't care about what's happening. They just want more hell. Human beings are evil. The heart of human beings is evil. Worse than what you can imagine. And they hate you. The spirit of darkness inside of the mind and emotions of human beings hate you. Why do you think human beings rejoice at other people's troubles? Why do you think human beings rejoice because they think that Donald Trump is suffering? They think Donald Trump, the great white hope, is suffering, and they love it. They love the fact that he is suffering. In their mind, they think he is, and they love it. Even the media, the government, and the people who pay attention to the government and go along with it, they love the fact that Donald Trump is suffering. And the people can't tell you why they love the fact that Donald Trump is suffering, except they see some dumb, evil black woman in New York and Georgia, wherever, going after him, and the media reporting whatever they report, true or not. And then the people who are listening to the media, they love what they hear about Donald Trump and about what it looks like he may lose and he this and he that. And they jump on board and rejoice, and they start to repeat it too. Because they love the fact that Donald Trump appears to be suffering. And the reason they love the fact that Donald Trump appears to be suffering, because they're suffering. They're miserable. And misery loves company, as you've heard before, but it's evil loving evil. And these people are not trying to overcome their hell, they're trying to pull other human beings into their hell. They're working on behalf of evil. Amazing, huh? According to CBS, Governor Maura Healey confirmed a man charged with rape. Confirmed a man charged with the rape of a 15-year-old girl with disabilities at a hotel housing migrant entered the United States through a federal program. Haitian migrant Corey Everest, 26 years old, is charged with the alleged sexual assault. Watch this from Boston 25.
He asked Governor Healey if she can prevent this type of incident from happening again.
You know, unfortunately, we have security and systems in place. We have vetting in place. It is unfortunate that from time to time things will happen.
Amazing. Unfortunately, we let the illegals come in because we want them in, and if somebody end up getting raped, it's just unfortunate. But we're still going to let the illegals in because we want the money and the power. We want the vote, and we want y'all mad and fighting one another. That's what we want. They don't care about you, and you're still going to vote for that evil woman over and over again. And you're going to call her powerful, strong woman. Because you're blind and you think weakness is strength. And the illegals are coming over, and they are having a hoo-nanny of a time on your dime. And then they're telling other illegal aliens how to do it too. And you still vote them in while rejoicing, thinking that Donald Trump is being damaged because you're damaged. Oh, it's unfortunate. Things just going to happen. It's not her loss. It's not her family member. Why should she care? It's just unfortunate. Illegal alien from Haiti. It's Haiti. It's unfortunate. Let them come on over, kill the American citizens, rape them, do whatever they want. And you still vote for them. And you rejoice with evil people that think that they're hurting Donald Trump. Isn't that amazing? You are wicked. Oh, just unfortunate. It's unfortunate. This will happen too. Watch this New York Post. A migrant TikToker is offering tips on how to invade unoccupied homes and invoke squatter rights. The Venezuelan national said in a recent video that under U.S. law, if a house is not inhabited, we can seize it. Watch this from TikTok.
Mi gente, he pensado invadir una casa en United States, ya que me enteré que existe una ley que dice que si una casa no está habitada, podemos expropiarla. Capichi, muchachos, aquí en United States también se aplica la de invasión de terreno. Y creo que ese será mi próximo negocio. Invadir casas abandonadas. La ley dice que las casas abandonadas, deterioradas y que esté en mal estado, podemos llegar y repararlas, vivir en ellas y si podemos venderlas, hasta pedir créditos con ellas. ¿Qué dicen ustedes?
Amazing. So he's sending a message back to the S-hole country that he came from, telling the people, you can come to the U.S. and you can invade empty houses. Let's say you have a home for sale. your parents expired, and you just waited to go over, fix up the house, and maybe sell it or move in or rent it out or something. These people can invade your empty house and stay there, and you can't do anything about it. Did you ever think, and that's a law. Somebody can, and I know several cases like this now. I know family and friends who are dealing with that right now. They're trying to sell a house. Realtors who are trying to sell a house or buy a house, and the bombs go and move in there, and you can't get them out. You put up boards around the windows and doors, they tear the boards down. And just imagine, this illegal alien is telling the people over his whole country, come on over here, you can get houses for nothing. Move in. The U.S. got laws where you don't have to worry about it. Defund the police, take away bail bond, let the criminals out of prison, call it racist, and you can't touch him. That same guy, I've seen reports on him, he bragging about he made it to the U.S. I guess his girlfriend made a baby, and now they're citizens. And he getting everything free. He doesn't even have to work because the government is taking care of the baby and in return taking care of them. He put that out on TikTok. And you, as an American citizen, have to suffer for it. And while you're running around talking about stupid no justice, no peace. Some of you don't know about that, or you don't believe that squatters can't just take over your home. They can. Watch this from the New York Post. A New York City property owner recently ended up in handcuffs following a standoff with squatters she had been trying to boot from her family home. Watch this from ABC.
We met Adele Andaloro outside the home her parents left her in Flushing, Queens. She claims squatters moved in on February 6 and refused to leave.
This is my furniture. These are my curtains. They've called the police on me, and I've called the locksmiths. I didn't come in illegally. I may end up in handcuffs today if this man shows up here and says that I have illegally evicted him.
The man who claims to be the one actually leasing the house shows up.
Call the police again.
With the other guy, police took off the property.
Do you see this? This guy just literally broke down my door, broke through myself and my daughter to get in here. This guy just forced himself into my house.
No, he did not.
Yes, he did.
No, he did
and
not.
so did you. You broke through the front door.
Officer.
The man called the police on her. And by law, it has to be handled through the housing court, not with police.
If you own this house, you would not want her inside.
I don't own the house. I don't own this.
Exactly,
yes.
she does.
Yes, but then once again, you should know how the law works.
I do know how it works.
There's rules to the...
So Adele, you're getting arrested right now?
I'm being arrested.
For what?
For being
in my own home.
Wow. Being in her own home. Your government has set it up where bombs can walk into your empty house and call it their home, and there's nothing you can do about it. You get arrested as an American citizen. Isn't that amazing? Back in a moment. I recommend you get a copy of my book, From Rage to Responsibility. I write about how the spirit of anger was taken away from me 29 years ago. I forgave my mother who tried to turn me away from my father, and I returned to my father, and through him, my father on earth, and through him, I was able to return to God. No man or woman can return to God unless you go through the Son. And men are sons of God. They may be weak, pathetic examples of it, but it's the spiritual order of life. God in Christ, Christ in man, man over woman, and woman over children. So get from race to responsibility. I write about that. Go to my website, rebuildingtheman.com for an autographed copy or call 800-411-BOND and donate to my nonprofit, Bond, the Brotherhood Organization of a New Destiny. We are rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I want you to think about that. And this squatter thing is happening more than what you can even imagine. I didn't realize it was a law until recently. I just thought, because I know people who are dealing with this nearly every day, especially realtors. And so, but I didn't know it was a law. I just thought they knew the police wasn't going to do anything. The mayor of the town and the city wasn't going to do anything. But I didn't know it was a law. I heard stories of squatter incidents down in Atlanta, Georgia, where realtors in their own homes or selling homes, they find squatters there, they can't get them out. Have you noticed that the government of the United States of America is deliberately going after the American citizens, making their lives difficult? I saw a report on the local news that these people are breaking into your homes. They know how now to turn off your Wi-Fi. And so they're telling people, you need to go back to getting alarm system that's not Wi-Fi, because they'll figure out how to break in anyway. They didn't tell you, okay, we're going to bring the cops back. We're going to lock these people up. We're going to put you first. They're telling you, you need to spend more money because we're not going to take care of you. We're not going to watch over you. We're not going to make sure you're safe. We're going to look out for the criminals. In the United States of America, they arrested this woman who allegedly owned the property, and she's telling the squatters they broke, according to the story, broke down the door and just came in while she was there and yelling at her for being upset about it. And called the police over on her and she get arrested in the United States of America. If you think that is bad, and it is, re-elect the Democrats and you see what happens. You will see what happens. In California, or at least Los Angeles, I don't know if they're doing it all over California or not, they're calling the bombs, so-called homeless people, unhoused people. The other day, according to the local report, a bomb stole a city bus, I believe, and drove it and went and drove through a hotel up in Hollywood, I believe. They call that person unhoused person stole a bus. Anyway, according to the New York Post, squatters' rights. Can you imagine squatters' rights, bum rights? Squatters' rights allows an individual to occupy a property and remain there without the owner's permission. In New York City, an individual can claim squatters' rights after inhabiting a property for just 30 days. So if that's the case now, why don't everybody just go out and find an empty house and move in and don't worry about a house note or insurance note? Why even bother to pay for a house if you can just move in? Call yourself a squatter. And the cost of everything for the American citizens is through the roof. While the illegals are getting it free. Because our government wants to control us, create a socialist, communist society and destroy white America's world. It's really about going after white people and Christians. White society is being destroyed. It's too nice. It's too right. Bringing the people of color and just live in junk. They just live in junk. Remember when they started the so-called civil rights movement? And by the way, there's no such thing as civil rights. And the civil rights movement was one of the worst, other than abortion, was one of the worst things that ever happened to America. It's just been downhill for the blacks. I have never seen a bunch of people beg and blame the males and the females the way the blacks do. Because they believe civil rights exist. I can't get past this idea that the United States government is protecting someone who is illegally moving into your house and telling you you're going to go to jail if you try to put them out. And the reason they're doing that for, to be honest with you, they want you fighting one another. They want you angry about this so they can arrest you. They can take away your rights. They want the races fighting one another because they want a war. And while you're fighting one another, they're locking you up. They're locking you up. I want to show you what the results of civil rights, of the so-called civil rights lie. Can you get over that? A squatter can move into your home. Here you are hustling to pay the rent, the note on the house, the insurance through the roof now, the insurance. But somebody off the street can just walk in. I know of a story from someone that I know very well that a friend of theirs, a realtor, bought a house and he wanted his daughter, he wanted to fix it up so his daughter can move in. A squatter moved in. And then the next day, the squatter left and went somewhere. They put boards around the house, the windows and doors. The squatter came back like, what the? And tore the board off the window, went through anyway, off the door. And then they said, okay, well, we'll park a car in the driveway so it looked like somebody lived there. The squatter came home, ain't home, but back that evening and damaged the car that was parked in the driveway, mad. And then they called the police, the squatter went out and welcomed the police. Having a discussion with the cops as though it's his house. Let me show you the results of the civil rights lie. This is from CBS. Police sources said the Joint Fugitive Task Force is hunting for 2 suspects after Nadia Vitel's, 52 years old, was killed inside her mother's New York City apartment. The apartment had been vacant for months after the death of her mother. Vitel's didn't know when she went to the apartment that two squatters had been living there. Watch this from CBS.
It was like this.
This is the apartment closet where 52-year-old Nadia Vitel's body was found last week, stuffed in a duffel bag while her dog barked in the living room. Police sources tell us investigators have identified two people who may have been squatting in that apartment and who they believe beat Vitel's to death before stealing her car from the street and fleeing to Pennsylvania, where they later got into a car accident. Sources tell us that investigators believe Vitel's may have been moving herself or someone else into this Kips Bay apartment in the building where her late mother lived. They do not believe Vitel's knew the squatters, who were told came in while she was tidying the apartment.
Unfortunately, there are so many horrible cases because you create serious confrontation. Because just imagine you enter your own home to find people there.
Amazing. Oh, it's just unfortunate. We'll let them in anyway. We're going to protect the squatters, not you. It's unfortunate she's dead now. It's just unfortunate. These things going to happen. That's your government. Remember the good old days when you could buy a house? You never once thought that you fixed the house up, you put a for sale sign out front, and you just wait around till someone, hey, I want to see the house, I want to buy it. You never thought about anything like this happening. Now it's everywhere. And you keep voting them in. The woman, according to the story, is now dead. It's now dead. I would suggest you overcome anger so you can see what's going on, overcome all those evil emotions. Emotions are evil because they want you fighting one another. They want you fighting one another. That's what they want, meaning the government. The people that you hire, you vote in, you hire to protect you, they're doing everything to destroy you for personal gain. You overcome the anger, no one can make you fight. You'll fight to protect yourself if you have to, if you're in harm's way, but you wouldn't be fighting based on race and all the other mess. But if you're angry, you're going to fight. Because the devil inside of you is going to make you fight, and the devil outside of you, inside of others, will make you fight. Look at the racists fighting one another. Over stupid stuff, not knowing that they're being controlled. They want you fighting one another. That's why they want the squatter thing to happen. Who would think that they would protect the squatter over the owner of the house? They want you fighting one another. Here's one example proof of that. According to the Daily Wire, a Tennessee Democratic state senate called for riots on Friday after the Republican-controlled state senate passed a bill preventing cities from restricting their police force from making certain traffic stops. Watch this from X.
It is a slap in the face, and you might as well stomp on the grave of Tyree Nichols for bringing this bill. Yes, we are emotionally charged. Why? Because it's personal for us. So yeah, we're going to fight. Dr. King said the riots are the language of the unheard. You ain't saying nothing yet. If you keep silencing us like this, what do you think our district's going to do? We have had it up here. Gloves off. Like, we're going to fight like hell. You don't expect us to respond? Don't tell me this stuff ain't racist. Don't tell me it's not. It is rooted in racism. This was a Jim Crow bill that Taylor Brock and all his Confederates voted for today.
Amazing. You still want liberal black females in your government? Look how nasty and evil that female is. Could white people stand up at the state senate and say, we going to fight? Our district going to fight. We're going to fight back. You're racist against us. We're going to fight back. What will happen? And I want you to notice all of these evil black females in government now. And they push these females over the black males because they know the black males are weak too, but not as evil as the black females are. Oh, we're going to fight. Just wait. And to think about the blacks who are listening to this evil black female in her district because they're not individual thinkers. What do you think they're going to do? Black people are cursed. They don't think for themselves anymore. Not all, but most. Not all, but most. But most black people do not think for themselves. They listen to that. They think in groups based on color because they are cursed. And they are incapable not only doing for themselves, they are incapable of thinking for themselves. That's why that even nasty black female can get up and say that. And the white people are not going to do anything about it. Because she used all the hypnotic words, racist. Dr. King, where is Dr. King now? I rest my case. Racist. Dr. King, it's personal for us. It's personal for her because she's trying to stir up hell for personal gain. And the people are so blind, they're going to fall for it. I bet you a white man couldn't get up and do that, or a white female couldn't say that for the white race. This is personal for us. You've been going after us for years. You call us racist. We giving you all you want, and you're still begging. What will happen? Well, I tell you what will happen. They will go after that white person in the same way that they were going after Kyle Rittenhouse. They still won't leave him alone, even though he's been found not guilty. Been found not guilty. They don't even want this guy speaking anywhere. He's white. And where are the white people supporting Kyle? If Kyle were black, Black Lives Matter would be all over this. May God have mercy on my country. My country is no longer tears of thee. They don't want Kyle to even show his face. It doesn't matter that they've been proven he's not guilty. He's white. And he's male. This is from the Hill. Protesters disrupted an event Wednesday featuring Kyle Rittenhouse, who was acquitted of homicide in 2021 after shooting and killing 2 people during a so-called racial justice protest. I'm saying so-called. They didn't say so-called, but it was fake. Watch this from X and TikTok. Look at the animals.
No justice.
Wild dogs.
No peace. No justice. No peace.
Black people just as dumb as they get. She need to be on a diet.
Tell me the lies of Black Lives Matter. Tell me the lie you finna talk about. Go ahead, speak. I was sitting down.
Shout out to my city, Memphis, man. That dude, Kyle Rittenhouse, came up in here, and the people of Memphis ran him up out of here, man. we Memphians told everybody we would make him feel unwelcome and run him out of here.
See how proud the blacks are to do evil? To bring evil upon another person? They're proud of it. They're not meant and created to bring good. The blacks are only created to bring evil. They're proud of it. If that had been something good, they wouldn't have shown up. Blacks are put on this earth for evil. You know, some races are put here for the good, right? Look at the white people. They create good things. They founded the greatest country on this side of heaven in all the Western countries. White Western countries. They create good. What do the blacks do? They go and tear it down. And proud of it, just totally proud of it. You heard that evil Tennessee Democratic state, so-called state senator say, you know what? We take it personal. We take evil personal, interpreting. And they do. Look at all the countries. Look at America. Look around your country. Anywhere the blacks are in control, it's nothing but evil. And now you're letting them into Congress and so-called senators, state and local government. What are they bringing? Destruction. That stupid, evil black female out of New York called herself going after Trump. When you see her, look at the smirk on her face. She's proudly enforcing evil, bringing evil upon the earth. And the process, this is black excellent. This is the best the blacks can do. And the whites are on the run, running from evil and evil, chasing them down. Why don't you run down the road, and then stop and turn around and just stand there and see what evil would do then? The same way you should be doing within your own mind and emotion. Instead of running from evil within yourself, why not just stop and turn around and stare at it and see what happens? Our country is a Christian country. This is not Christianity. Christianity don't run from evil. Christianity overcome evil with good. 888-7753-773. When I come back, your phone calls and super chats. What a mess. Back in a moment, Hake coming in with the hate news. Not the fake news, but the Hake news. And I'll be back in a moment. I have books that are amazing. I highly recommend you get them. 7 Guaranteed Steps to Spiritual, Family, and Financial Success Guide. Even if you're not starting a business, but you have a job, or you're on welfare, it can help you if you do. Be doers of the word, all right? From rage to responsibility. From rage. That's what I write about in the first chapter, especially how I overcame. Scam. How the black leadership exploits black Americans. They are using them, and blacks are too willing to be used. And then my last book, The Antidote, Healing America from the Poison of Hate, Blame, and Victimhood. They are all amazing books, and they are helpful. Go to rebuildingtheman.com if you want an autographed copy, or call 800-411-2663.
Airlines are a mess right now. Thanks a lot, Boeing and the liberals. And also persecution ongoing of our greatest president, Donald J. Trump. It's out of control. This is the end of hour 1 of the Jesse Lee Peterson Show. It's Friday. Get it off your chest, Friday. March 22nd, AD 2024, the year of our Lord. Stay tuned for hour 2. JLP will be right back to your calls. The lines are full, guys. But first, Hake news, not fake news. After the Jesse Lee Peterson Show, we do have the Hake Report, an abbreviated Hake Report. Very short. I have some things to do in the studio here. And then, of course, the Fallen State with Jesse Lee Peterson. Should be an interesting interview. And, of course, American anchor baby Nick Stream. Check him out at 4 p.m. Pacific time. No Joel Friday today. He's live Monday through Thursday. Joel Friday TV right after Hake at 11 a.m. Airline mess coming, Nonsense Network, CNN. No, the far-left female-run outlet The Skim reports Boeing's problems are likely to disrupt summer travel, they predict. In January, one of the world's largest aircraft manufacturers unlocked a new fear for travelers when a door plug or a plug door or whatever it's called on a Boeing MAX 9 plane blew out during an Alaska Airlines flight. Alaska Airlines, are they cutting corners too? I don't know. In response, federal officials grounded dozens of MAX 9s and ordered Boeing to address their manufacturing process. The fallout has led to delays in Boeing's production of planes, affecting airlines like Southwest and United. Now travelers' wallets and summer plans could take a hit. Production delays expected to impact flight options, both domestic and international. This summer, Southwest only flies Boeing planes. They've already cut flights. Other carriers like JetBlue also trimming their schedules. Experts warn that limited flights could mean higher prices. One analyst estimating up to a 10% increase on tickets. European carriers like Ryanair are also anticipating price hikes. Meanwhile, airlines like United are trying to find an alternative plan to work around the delays. Ahead of the door plug fiasco, Boeing already had struggled to meet demand for their planes. Now customers and airlines bearing the brunt of the fallout, which could last for years. Thanks a lot, diversity, equity, and inclusion, and cutting corners and mess. No quality control is what I heard. But who knows? Last month reported new baggage fees, by the way. United Airlines, American, and JetBlue and other carriers charged passengers more to check their bags at the airport than to purchase the service online in advance. Airlines have been raising baggage fees this year to cover higher costs. Executives say travelers who purchase tickets, check bags ahead of time, can free up congestion at the airport. For example, an American coach pays $35 to check a first bag on domestic if you book it online in advance, or $40 at the airport. American previously charged $30 either way. What a mess, huh? Our greatest president, Donald J. Trump, quickly approaching a deadline to secure nearly $500 million bond to appeal his civil fraud case in New York, says Commie Nonsense Network, CNN. If the presumptive GOP nominee for president is unable to find the money by Monday, New York black female Democrat Attorney General Letitia James may begin seizing some of Trump's assets to finance his so-called obligation to the state of New York, corrupt New York. Filings show New York officials preparing to try to seize Trump's golf course and private estate north of Manhattan, known as Seven Springs. Trump's lawyers acknowledged this week he was struggling to find an insurance company to underwrite that massive amount, like $450 million, something like that. The bond stems from a ruling last month that ordered Trump to pay millions in disgorgement or ill-gotten gains. That's what New York is guilty of, not Trump, for issuing false financial statements and false business records, they claim, without evidence, to inflate the value of his assets. What a mess, huh? So corrupt. Emmanuel Macron, if you catch the Hake report today, I may show you pictures of Emmanuel Macron, the French president, hitting a boxing bag. And he's gotten mixed reactions. People all mad because he's looking manly. I'm James Hake. Now back to JLP.
got to stand up strong. Ain't the truth about themselves to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up, stand up.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I'm Jesse Lee Peterson. Welcome to the second hour of the show already. That's amazing. It's Friday. You can get involved by calling 888-7753-773. 888-77-JESSE. JESSE. My biblical question for this week, and it's a doozy. Do you have moral values? Do you have morals and values? If so, where did you find them? Do you have morals and values? If so, where did you find them? We have every way that you can support and watch the show. Watch and support and watch. Listed on JesseLeePeterson.com/show. JesseLeePeterson.com/show. And if you're out and about, anywhere in the world, because we're heard around the world by everybody and their mama around the world. And if you're a flat earther, up and down the world. If you just don't know world, you can be listening on your iPhone or iPad by calling the listen line at TalkScreen Live, 641-793-1500, 641-793-1500. But you can call into the show at 877-53-773. All right. We're on social media. Y'all know what to do. Ring the bell. Like, follow, subscribe. JLP Talk on X. Rumble.com/Jesse Lee Peterson. It's Friday. And to donate and have your comments read out loud, go to Buy Me a Coffee. BuyMeACoffee.com/JLP Talk or Bond JLP on Cash App. Bond JLP on Cash App. Isn't it amazing? It's Friday, second hour of the show. Every Friday is Get It Off Your Chest Friday. Every Friday is Express Yourself Friday.
You, Tom, like a mug. You need to go and get yourself bleached because everything you say about black people and you're sitting up there looking like a tar baby.
It might sound like a semantics argument, but he's a great alien.
I wonder if he's been smoking pot.
For some people, losing a pet is like losing a member of the family. It can be tough, and one local man is honoring his best friend in a unique way.
Hey. Oh, my God.
Cody was a real special dog with a great personality.
Beta.
That's what makes it so hard.
That dog ain't got no personality. What's up?
Bill wanted to remember his four-legged friend by having him cremated at a local funeral home.
When one of their pets pass away, that involves a grievous situation. McComb & Sons is here to serve people that have situations involving grief.
I was coming. I was kind of torn about how to say goodbye, and then someone told me that McComb offered this service.
What the? Talk about torn between two lovers, feeling like a fool. What the? By the way, the number to call into the show is 888-7753-773. I think I said 877. It's 888-7753-773. Can you imagine a grown man, male, acting like that over an animal? Oh, I was all grief. And then someone told me about this place. And, oh, Lord, help me, Jesus. And I built a shrine for the dog. And then some stupid black man, male, looked like he was kissing a dead dog. I've seen it all. Remember when, maybe the millennials might not remember this. That is possible. But remember when everybody was singing and rejoicing about America? When 4th of July, White History Month, by the way, is in July. When 4th of July was widely celebrated, and it wasn't about race and all that mess. Remember when people would proudly hang flags on their houses and buildings? Remember when you could just walk about? Remember down in the South where blacks and whites got along? They didn't have leaders. They didn't have some mess called the Civil Rights Movement. Remember all those good days? Remember on the 4th of July when the blacks would gather at little areas around the churches, in the church yard there, play the drums on the 4th of July, eat barbecue and laugh and be glad to see one another. And white people came by and no problem. Remember when Ray Charles sang, America, sweet, sweet America, God to lay his grace on thee and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. Where's that now? Remember when we would go to school every morning, Monday through Friday, and the first thing we did was to pray and then pledge allegiance to the flag? There was no black teacher standing around the classroom telling you, oh, this is racism. America is so unfair. What about slavery? We proudly pledged allegiance to the flag every morning. And then a couple of the guys would go out there and hang the flag up on the flagpole and would fly in the wind all day. This stuff wasn't even heard of, this other mess. Remember when it was nice to fly? You had to dress up to fly. And it didn't matter if you were flying first class or coach or whatever. The thrill of flying was the same. It didn't matter. That's gone now. They have incorporated affirmative action. And flying is like riding on a nasty bus. You dread flying now. Your life is at risk now because of adding people, putting people in, taking out the qualified people and putting in the unqualified. Jason is out of Buffalo, New York. Jason, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, Jason.
I want to get off my chest and talk about how you're a cold leader.
Bye, Jason. When you're ready to talk grown-up talk, let me know. You can call back, but with grown-up talk. He black. Let me go to Glenn out of Wisconsin. Glenn, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, Jesse. How's it going?
All is well.
It's snowing here in Wisconsin. It's a crazy day.
Wow.
Woke up to snow.
I woke up this morning with my mind set on Jesus.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Glenn.
All right. I just want to let you know how much I respect and admire your stoic honesty. It's amazing.
Amazing.
Absolutely amazing.
Thank
and
you.
To tackle your morals question.
Do you have morals and values? If so, where did you find them?
I believe in my case, and in some people's case, probably yours, I'm sure yours, I was blessed with amazing self-awareness and common sense. And I recognized it at a young age and used it throughout my life to grow and tackle everything one thing at a time. And I think that's the way I see it.
Amazing. I want to respond to that, Glenn, but I got to wait until Sunday. And I do appreciate your input on the biblical questions. I appreciate that.
Yes. And like I said, I really respect your what you're doing for everybody, and we need a lot more people. I was wondering, when are you going to come out with JLP for President hats? I'm a hat wearer. I love hats.
That's a good idea. I hadn't thought of that.
Yeah, JLP for president, or at least Congress. I believe you should be in Congress.
Amazing. I'll see what we can do there.
Would be a great platform for you, and get your message across.
Thank you, man.
At worst, apply for a job with Trump. Be in his administration, be an advisor, something. We really need you in there.
Thank you, man. I do appreciate that. Thank you, Glenn.
Yep.
All right, buddy. And I'll respond Sunday to the biblical question.
Okay.
Okay. Amazing. 888-7753-773. Let me go to Aman out of India. Aman, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hi, Jesse. How are you?
All is well, sir.
Don't call me sir. I'm only 24.
Oh, you're too young to be a sir?
Yeah, for you, definitely.
All right. Thank you, buddy.
I called at yesterday or day before yesterday, and I called Sean pretty much and asked him what would Jesse recommend. Like, I wanted to know about like Jesus movies type, and what would Jesse recommend. Sean said The Chosen would pretty much do it, and I watched the season 1. And there were a couple of episodes where I almost deleted the app because, in one of the episodes, Jesus said, "Oh, my mother is so powerful at the party." I'm like, Jesus would never say that. That is such a lie.
He said his mother is powerful?
Yeah, they were going to the wedding, and he said to his disciple, "Oh, there's a person, the most powerful person at the party, my mother." I'm like, Jesus would never say that. What kind of feminist Jesus is this?
Well, you got to be able to, within yourself, realize that these liberals are making movies like about whatever, and they're gonna always put in their liberal, godless ideas about things like that. So just omit that part.
Yeah, and then I was like, you know what? Jesse recommended it, and Jesse would not judge it. So let me just watch the whole thing, and then I watched the season 1, and then But I wanted to know your how do you think about it?
You only watched episode 1 so far?
No, season 1, I have completed it.
Oh, you completed season 1. And what did you think about the entire season?
I did not understand 80% because there are so many lies at the same time. I do not understand it, so I just let it go. And the stuff that I liked, some parts, I just noticed that, and I also let that one go.
What part did you like? Give me an example. You don't have to, because of time, we don't have to go over the whole thing. But what part did you like?
Where there's a quote like, "He who created you, I have called you my name, you are mine." That part I liked. I liked the part where Jesus was talking to the woman, to the guy, that I have been watching you. I know you were under the fig tree, stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
Tiny.
Well, that's how you should deal with all movies, period, is that just be aware, just watch the movie, and the part that you can appreciate, that's the part you appreciate, but everything else, just let it pass by, and let it pass without judging it, without judging it, and you see the wrong and the right in it.
If not for you, I would not even know about Jesus. Like, by watching your videos from Born, I know about Jesus, the real truth. That's why I like watching your videos, and mostly I wait, like, when you talk about Jesus.
Yes.
But if not for you, I would even accept, like, oh, Jesus was a feminist, blah, 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 nonsense. But I know for now, Jesus is not a feminist.
And not only have the liberals who hate Jesus weakened Jesus,
He was crying all season.
The Christians have weakened Jesus as well. You can't judge Jesus based on the Christians, because the Christians are very weak and angry and emotional, but they call themselves Christians. So when you see Jesus, if you didn't know it better, you would base Jesus on the action of the Christian. It's just not the same at all.
Yep.
Amazing. Well, thank you, man. I don't know if they're coming out with season 2 or 3 yet, but just in all movies, just know that they're dumbed down now. They're weak. And I remember when I was talking to Joel, I believe, about the Hunchback of Notre Dame. You ever seen that?
No.
It was an old black and white movie. I believe black and white. And it was such a good movie. And it reminded me that they just don't make movies like that anymore. Real acting, it doesn't happen anymore. It's crazy.
Old school people knew what is right and wrong.
Absolutely.
But nowadays it's just lies.
Absolutely. And so I totally appreciated a large part of the Chosen. And the liberal stuff, I just omit. I didn't even think about it, really. But I listened to the message of Christ and the intent of it, and that's what I got from it as well. And I do recommend it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ahmad. I appreciate it, man.
I appreciate you too, Jesse. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Amazing. I'm typing a note to Hake. Amazing. Let me go to New Jersey and talk to Joel out of New Jersey. Joel, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hi, thank you, Jesse. Thank you for having me.
Yes, sir.
Hi. So, Jesse, I wanted to get it off my chest since today is Get It Off Your Chest Fridays. And I wanted to speak in reference to this squatter thing, right?
Right.
So I live like 20 minutes away from New York City. So, and it's like I got property too. So it's like right now I'm concerned about making my basement an apartment because of this squatter stuff over here in these blue states, right?
Yep.
It's a pain in the butt. So much liberties and so much rights are given to and let me give you, I'm gonna play a little bit of a devil's advocate. It's not only illegals, but it's also whites. It's everybody. It's like these laws are like really incentivizing beta behavior, like in everybody, man.
And you're right. It's not just because here in L.A., the people who are doing this, the squatters, are citizens of the country. They're just bums on the streets. But they're just walking in doing the same thing. You're right about that.
Yeah, it's like, the thing is like, I was thinking about it. I was like, look, these like laws, like these laws, like these blue laws, like these Democrat like rights for like people, they incentivize beta behavior. They really do. They so do.
Yeah.
It's like not only with that, but like other stuff too. Like with the kids, like with the kids that could call like social services as soon as like the kids they start getting disciplined. You know what I mean? It's like I don't know. It's like what can I do in a blue state to like kind of like be active politically and like deter that, I'm like not only the squatter stuff, but I also see these smoke shops that are coming up. Like you've seen these smoke shops that are just like coming up. It's like
let me ask: have you so you're preparing you said your house or apartment building for rent or something, lease?
Yeah. So all right.
And do you have somebody staying there while you do it?
No, see, this is the thing, right? Like, I'm part. Look, I got two properties, but the one that I just moved in right now is part ownership with family, right? And the reason why I moved in here is because I'm trying to get it squared away because I got family members that that they don't know much about that. So in the basement, there's like a real good open space to make an apartment, right?
Right.
And
so just for the record, though, so you are somebody living upstairs. It's just that you're trying to redo the downstairs basement in order to sell it or rent it out or something, right?
Correct. Yeah.
And do you have somebody staying in the basement? I guess it wouldn't matter if you're living right upstairs. That the squatter thing won't happen to you, right?
It could happen. It could happen. Now this is the bad part because, in like say in New York City, like in Jersey, there's a lot of apartments that are not up to code that are like informally being like rented out. And before this squatter stuff, it was okay to do that. I mean, you got extra space, you could rent it out, and you could just kick somebody out whenever they don't pay. I mean, it's fine. But now, with these squatter rights, like even these informal apartments that are not up to code, that are not supposed to be rented out, those things also like kind of like, it's like you can't even do that now. You can't even make extra income because of that.
How will the squatter move in downstairs if you're living upstairs?
For example, for example, like if I rent it out to somebody, and let's say I believe that this person is like squared away, and we got them, we got their credit check or whatever, and they move in, and I give them that, that apartment in the basement that's not up to code, and let's say for example they've been living there for like 3 months or 6 months, and then afterwards they decide not to pay, and then like probably like the 7th month they don't pay, the 8th month they don't pay. I'm like, listen, you gotta go. The 9th month they don't pay, and then within the 9th month, I'll be like, listen, you gotta go. I can't kick them out.
Yeah, I know situations like that too. You're right about that's here in California as well.
I can't kick them out, so I gotta question that now. It's like, well, like I'm trying to make a little more money, like back in the 80s and the 70s, how people used to do it.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be up to code.
Yeah.
It's just but it's like you can't even do that now. Because it's like, you got all these freaking rules that like overprotect like, tenants. Like it's I don't even think it's protection. It's like overprotection. It's like, it's a weird thing, and it's like you can't make extra bucks now. It's like,
and the interesting thing about that is that in those states, the people still vote in the same kind of people. And they vote in the Democrats, they vote in the liberals, they vote in the right or Republicans, and they keep getting the same thing or even worse, but yet the people still vote them in. It's just crazy to see how that is, and it's a mess.
I really don't know how to. I mean, what I gotta do? I gotta vote. Because honestly, I mean, I'm talking all this garbage, but in reality, I don't vote. I mean, should I vote?
Why don't you vote?
I gotta vote.
Why don't you vote?
I gotta vote. I do gotta vote.
Why don't you vote?
I'm gonna vote red, man. I'm gonna vote red because red is the one.
Why don't you vote already?
I mean, I do vote for like the presidential elections and stuff like that, but like for the cities, it's like they send it in the mail, and I'm very ignorant about those stuff. So I don't know where to go, and I think it's like the school district or something like that.
So why don't you? Because of time, why don't you vote?
Yeah. I'm going to definitely do that, man. Yo, listen, I think that's why I had to call this show, because I do got to vote.
But why don't you vote?
Why don't I vote? I mean, because I think it's a waste. I think that my voice is not going to be heard.
But how could it be heard if you don't vote?
That's true.
No, that's a question.
How could it be heard if I don't vote? You're right. It's like...
No, that's a question.
It's not going to get heard. You're right. It's not going to get heard. It's not going to get heard.
It's interesting when I hear people say that, oh, my voice is not going to be heard. Did you vote? No. I'm like, well, how will your voice be heard if you don't vote?
It's like, yeah, you got to pick the lesser of the two evils, right? So the
what do you mean by that?
Is like your choice is the lesser of two evils. Like, if both of them are not going to be heard, at least choose the one that has a little chance of being heard. You get it? And that's the one you're saying, voting. And that's true.
Yeah, make sure you vote and then vote. You vote for the person you believe, even though we don't know until they get in what they're going to do. You vote for the person that you believe going to do the right thing. And if they don't do it, work for you instead of against you, next time election come around, you vote them out. And then you vote in someone else. And then eventually things will start to change. But if you keep voting for the same person or people and you don't vote at all, you're just going to get more of the same or even worse. Thank you, Joe. Joe, I appreciate you, man.
Thank you. You should run for Congress, too, like the other guy said, man. I'll vote for you so we can get out of debaters. We can get them all out.
Well, man. Thank you, buddy.
All right, later.
All right.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Bye. God bless. All
You
right.
too. Thank you. 888-7753-773. Super chat. Super
Chats. The Observer of Thoughts bought a coffee on buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk. Answer to the biblical question.
Do you have morals and values? If so, where do you find them? Do you have morals and values? If so, where do you find them?
No, I do not. I believe morals and values were made up by intellectuals in order to create right and wrong.
You read that one yesterday.
Are you sure?
It's all very familiar, but go ahead.
It's just made up words, ideas to make laws and control people. Have an awesome weekend, guys. Amazing.
Oh, no. Yeah, that's a different one.
Yeah.
Thank you. You too. And thanks for responding to the biblical question. And I'll put my 2 cents in on Sunday. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Aries 1 gave a couple of diamonds. No message. Thank you.
Thank you.
Henry Ford lives with a diamond. Happy Skull and Bones Day, 3/22, March 22nd. Yikes.
What does that mean?
Skull and Bones.
I'm surprised Billy here. I just realized Billy's here.
Yeah. Hey.
And it's Friday.
Happy Friday. What a surprise.
Who died and left you in charge?
Amazing. Skull and Bones is a secret society from Yale.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. And they're connected. They're linked with a lot of conspiracy theories.
It's like a private club.
Yeah.
Oh.
Used to be men only. Now it has women and gays and POCs and all kinds of stuff.
Oh, just men only club at one time?
Yeah. Both the President Bushes were Skull and Bones Society
I thought
members.
I remember when you said it, I remember somebody saying Bush was involved in that.
Yeah. John Kerry was a Skull and Bones guy, too.
There was a movie about that, too.
Oh, yeah?
I think there was a movie about that. I could be wrong.
The liberals are really trying to overthrow them and take them over and undermine them.
Why?
Because they're alpha men.
Yeah, it's a man group.
Or used to be.
What a mess. Thank you.
Yep. Gen C bought 20 coffees. Good morning, JLP Universe. Have a great weekend, everyone. And as always, I'm looking forward to the fellowship this weekend.
Thank you. I am too. Thank you.
Very
Appreciate
generous.
it. Yeah.
Dawn, also Donnie Girl's idea, following up on her biblical question answer yesterday.
Do you have morals and values? If so, where did you find them?
Donnie Girl's idea says, my super chat had errors yesterday. Answering the question is yes. She does have morals and values.
Okay.
But Dad was my original teacher of morals, and now I seek the Father, meaning God, a capital F, Father.
Right on.
I am Daddy's girl, but he doesn't know the Father yet.
Amazing. Thank you. And thanks for clarifying that, making it clear, and I'll put my 2 cents in on Sunday. Thank you.
Valerie bought a coffee. Women's Forum was amazing.
When I come back from break, I'm going to try to explain it to you. But last night, Women's Forum, they brought the bacon home, they cooked it, and we ate. It was amazing.
Nice.
And everybody, and their mama showed up if you're black. Their mama, if you're white, everybody and their mama showed up. Amazing. Thank you. Let me take a break. I'll be back in a moment. Thank you. Oh, amazing. We have a counseling service, and I have to admit, thanks to God, it is the best counseling service on this side of heaven. I counsel with men and women, families, individuals around the world. most people are unhappy, they're miserable, they have rough lives, they're depressed, suicidal, young and old, of all races. I understand, I know why, and I do understand it. Because exactly what's happening in me is happening with everybody outside of me, inside of them. And I've noticed that with those who really, really, really want to understand, they overcome it just like that, out of one counseling session. If you need counseling, you can go to rebuildingaman.com or call 800-411-2663. 800-411-BOND. Best counseling service on this side of heaven. Amazing. Last night we had the Women's Forum, monthly forum for ladies only. Everybody and their mama showed up, and it went on for a while. By the time I got to bed, I barely closed my eyes for a moment, and the moment was gone, but it was worth it. It was so, and I'm trying to find words, it was so deep that a couple of the ladies, at least one or two, said, you know what, this meeting was so good, we should have it online or something where the women who can't be here, out-of-town ladies and others, can be a part of it. Like, we can't do that because if we had cameras in the house or recording, the ladies wouldn't open up as they do because there's no recording, no gossiping about what they hear in there, and no nothing. And just what happened in the men's forum and women's forum, it stays in the forum. And it gives everybody a chance to really, really open up. And there was nothing but searching souls in that house last night. It was, and they were seeking as seriously as some men do. It was mind-blowing. Thank y'all for showing up, ladies. It was mind-blowing. It really, really was. I had planned to end it early, like right on time. That didn't happen. It went by just like that, though. It was like, just like that. By the way, the Hake report is coming up at 9 a.m. this morning. TheHakeReport.com from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Pacific time. And you're going to notice he has Uniting the Races with Truth instead of Dividing Them with Lies t-shirt on the Bond website, rebuildingtheman.com/store. And after the Hake Report, a brand new episode of the FallenState.tv. The FallenState.tv. A very interesting discussion with Fatima Gilliam. She is a racist ethicist. Racial, same thing. No. Racial ethicist, whatever that is. Attorney and author of Race Rules. What your black friend won't tell you. Watch this.
Next time on The Fallen State.
Are you black or white?
I am black.
Did y'all have a white mailman? Maybe you should put a sign on that says, I'm black.
Jesse, I think out the gates it's clear that you and I have completely divergent political views on things.
Could the black person be racist as well?
No, because I don't believe that black people can be racist.
What's wrong with you? The great white hope. What do you think?
I think that those look like they are perfect as dog chew toys.
What a mess! That's today at 12 noon. TheFallenState.tv. TheFallenState.tv. And support The Fallen State right there. TheFallenState.tv/donate. And a Rumble. You can do it, support on Rumble as well. .com. And then Sunday morning, Fellowship for All. Everybody and their mama at 11 a.m. Pacific time. Doors open at 10:30. Come on down now, you hear? Sunday at 11 a.m. Pacific time, 2 p.m. Eastern time. RebuildingTheMan.com/church. Amazing. Let's finish those super chat we started, Hake.
All right.
Super chats.
Canadian Commie Mike. Comey Mike bought 5 coffees.
Not Commie Mike, right?
I don't know. And it's not Commie, that's for sure.
It's Comey.
Comey.
I thought you said Commie Mike.
I did say Commie Mike because I don't know how to pronounce these words. I don't know how to read. He bought 5 coffees, whatever the case. Hi, Jesse. I bought you 5 coffees for $15 US, and it cost me $20.81 Canadian dollars. What?
Thank you.
And what's your favorite song?
There were a couple of ladies at the meeting last night from Canada.
Yeah. Great country.
They were from all the way from Canada. Isn't that amazing? And they really, really loved the meeting last night. My favorite song?
Yeah, and he spells it the British way. Favorite song.
I don't know. I can't think of a favorite song right off the bat. There's so many that I like. I don't know if I have a favorite at this point. But if I do, I'll let you know. Thank you for the super chat, so I appreciate it.
Nice. I have books that are amazing donated to Diamond. JLP, you are on fire today. Triple exclamation mark. Amazing show.
Amazing. Thank you, and thank you for your support. I appreciate it.
Soul Conscious bought 3 coffees. Jesse, biblical question.
Do you have morals and values? If so, where did you find them?
No, they are made up words. God's laws are written in our hearts already. Says Soul Conscious.
Thank you. I'll put my 2 cents in on Sunday. I appreciate it.
Truck driver bought a coffee. Senor Peterson, I have 2 answers to the squatters. Option A, hire 20 Mexicans from Home Depot. Have them take out the squatter and give him a beating. I disavow.
The Mexican might move in.
Option B, I can't read this one, truck driver. What in the world? Something to the face. And I disavow it.
No violence.
Yeah. And thank you, guys. I do believe that is all for now.
Thank you all. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. It's amazing. Let me go to Johnny, a first-time call out of California. Johnny, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Good morning, baby.
Hey, Johnny.
I'm doing great. I'm doing amazing. It's a blessing to meet you again.
Thank you.
My question is this. Do you truly find immigrants intimidating?
Intimidating?
Right.
No, they're not intimidating. They're not intimidating.
Okay. So for me, and I hear your perspective, I heard everybody's perspective in time right now. As a U.S. citizen, I welcome immigrants. I want more immigrants.
Do you want illegal aliens?
Illegal. I want the most illegal person. I want a person who has no documents, nothing, no social security.
And why is that?
Because I've been listening to what you've been saying and what other people are saying. People are intimidated that they're going to take away their jobs. This is what capitalism is all about, competition. Bring them in.
Are you Hispanic?
I'm everything.
Are
I
you
don't identify. I'm a U.S. citizen.
Are you a Hispanic though?
I'm a U.S. citizen.
How about are you Hispanic?
I don't have Hispanic in me. I don't even know what that means.
What race are you?
I stopped. What do you call it? Human race still? I don't think it's changed.
So you won't communicate with me?
Okay, you want to know one? All right, here, check this out. Black.
Oh, you're black. And
Yeah,
why
I'm
do
black
you
and
want as many illegal aliens in as possible?
Competition, capitalism. The more you bring in, the more competition, the more jobs, the more things, the more opportunities. I'm not threatened by anybody that comes down here.
So do you feel the same? Would you feel the same way if a squatter moved into your home? And
bro.
And there was nothing.
Baby, I love squatters. If I own a house, own a mansion, I want all the immigrants to come here and build me another house in there. Like, baby, move me and make me another one.
Johnny, thank you, buddy, so much. I appreciate it. That's why we have what we have, folks. Thank you, Johnny. That's why we have what we have. Travis, a first-time call out of Canada. Travis, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Oh man, thanks for taking my call, Jess.
Yes, sir.
I love you. I love you. I love the show. I love the viewers.
Thank you.
I had a question for you about porno addiction.
Make sure you keep it clean.
Yeah, I'm not going to say anything dirty.
Okay.
I'm not like addicted to it or anything. My claim to fame is that I've gone 2 weeks without watching it. Do you have any tips for how I can completely get rid of my desires to watch it?
Get rid of overcome anger first. And when you overcome the anger, the power of truth or the power of God will light up in you and make a home in you. And it will allow you to see the thing that causes you to do that, which is of the imagination, which is evil, by the way. And if you just watch the thoughts, but don't call it good or bad, and don't try to change yourself at all, I promise you the appetite for it will be changed, will be taken away from you because your nature will change. And once you overcome the anger, you're no longer controlled by evil, but by good. Have you forgiven your mother?
In some ways, yeah.
Have you forgiven her, your mother?
In some ways, I have, yeah.
What do you mean, in some ways?
Well, it's kind of a long story. I mean, my dad is gay, and he hasn't been in the picture when I was a kid.
Right.
And a lot of the responsibility fell on her, raising us and stuff.
And so you say you forgive her, like you forgive part of her, but not the whole thing?
Yeah.
Why?
I want to forgive her fully.
And why don't you forgive her fully? Because one of the problems with porn addiction is the hatred that you have for your mother. It made the woman your God, and it caused you to look for a mama's love, and that's why one of the reasons that you're addicted to it. Why not forgive her all the way?
I think you make a good point. How like it stems from anger. I don't think I ever thought of it like that before.
It 100%, without a doubt, come from anger. I have no doubt about that.
Man, that gives me a lot to think about.
Yeah. And so why not forgive your mother all the way?
I don't know. Maybe I just don't know the right words to say.
How about, Mama, I'm sorry for resenting you. I realize now you can help yourself, and I'm wrong for holding it against you. How about that?
Yeah, that sounds good.
How old are you?
I'm 31.
Oh, okay. You got to face her. You got to shake in your boots. The devil in the imagination going to tell you not to do it. You're going to hurt her feelings. She did the best she could and all that because he doesn't want the light of the Father to come on inside of you because he knows once it does, eventually all those false identities that you have will have to leave your mind and body, and you'll be free. But you got to forgive your mother. She did the best she could, but the best she could wasn't good enough, and you have to forgive her.
That makes sense, Jesse. You know what's crazy is because, like, I don't really have an addictive personality. I used to be really addicted to pot, but then I quit cold turkey. I have zero desire to ever be high ever again. I just wish that I felt the same about porn.
Here's what you do the next time that the urge come for you to want to go and watch it. I want you to notice the urge is there and try not to go with it right away. But let's say it gets so strong you can't help it, right? I want to encourage you to be aware of yourself, going to look for it, whether it's computer or whatever. Be aware of yourself, opening up the computer, looking for it. Be aware of yourself once you find it. Stay conscious of whatever you're doing. And I'm telling you, man, the urge eventually will be taken away from you. Don't judge yourself. Don't call it good or bad, right or wrong. Just see yourself doing it or going toward it, and the light will destroy it. But you got to stay conscious.
Thank you for that, Jess.
Have you forgiven your father?
Have I forgiven my father?
Yeah.
No, I don't think.
Well, forgive him too, because whatever lifestyle he's living, it's because he hate his mother. He hate all women, and he's become like what he hates.
The last time I spoke to that guy, he told me that he hates my mother. Like, he spits on her.
Yeah.
Like, he would spit on her if he could.
Yeah, he hates your mother. That's why he end up marrying his mother, because your mother is just like his mother, and he become attracted to what he hates. So forgive him too.
I guess that's why he's gay. That's why he said he hates my mom.
Yeah.
He's gay.
Yeah, because he hates all women, not understanding that if he were to forgive his mother, then the spirit of that would be taken away from him too.
He's a beta.
Yeah. So you got to forgive him, though, so that you can be free. Otherwise, the thoughts and feeling will control you as well and drive you right into hell.
You know what? If I ever get a chance to talk to him again, I'll forgive him.
Yeah. And are you doing this? You know about the silent prayer?
Yeah.
Well, make sure you do that so you can stay out. The spirit of the Father will bring you out of the thoughts. All thoughts are all lies all the time about anything.
You had a question about morals.
Do you have morals? Do you have morals?
I want to ask you, do you have morals?
I can't respond until Sunday. You know about the Sunday service?
Oh, I know now.
Yes, Sunday, tune in at 11 a.m. Pacific time.
Yeah, I will. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, rebuildingtheman.com/church.
Okay, thanks, Jesse.
All right, I wish you well. Let me know how it goes, all right?
Hey, God bless, man.
You too. Overcome the anger, you're going to overcome all things.
Thanks, man. I love you.
I love you too. God bless you. Amazing. 888-7753-773. Let me go to Ronnie out of Ohio. Ronnie, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, Uncle Jesse, how you doing?
All is well, sir.
I think you mentioned something earlier about black people only being created for evil or something. Could you, repeat it or clarify what you said?
And not all, but most blacks are created to bring nothing but evil and destruction upon a society. And that's why you see when it's time to destroy, you see them more than happy to do it. I was looking at this woman that was out of Tennessee, I believe it was Tennessee that we played. She was talking about her district, how they're going to do this and do that. And you see the black woman going after the Great White Hope with joy, and the woman down in Tennessee, and how Black Lives Matter destroyed America. And even in Africa, wherever they take over, wherever they control, it always end up in destruction. It never end up getting better, or they don't even keep it better the way they found it. And because they're more than happy to bring evil into the earth. So they are cursed and not blessed.
That's heavy.
It is, man. It's mind-blowing.
You said they were created that way?
Yes.
By who?
By their father, the devil. And they all hate their mothers, and that's where the creation began. As soon, and maybe even some in the mother's womb, because the mother is so angry and evil that she corrupts them even in the womb. But the moment they are born, they'll start. The mothers are and grandmothers, but especially the mothers, are recreating them from innocent to hell.
You said they were created by the devil?
Yes. Working through the mother.
The devil's creating people?
Yeah. Their spirit. See, we are all spirits. We live in bodies, but we're not bodies. We're not our thoughts. We are spirits. And their spirit, who they really are, is being recreated in the image of evil.
Hold on. So you said we're spirits and we're not our bodies,
right.
But you're judging people based on the colored body that they were born in.
No, I'm looking at their actions.
Hold on. You said they were created that way sometimes even when they were still in the womb. So they haven't made any actions yet. So you're saying that from the womb to whenever they were created by the devil.
Yeah, because
to bring about evil, and not all, but most.
Right, because if the mother is angry during pregnancy, her spirit is wicked, and it can corrupt the child even in the womb. But if she's relaxed and have no anger and full of joy, the baby going to come out in the image of God.
Okay, so when you said that they were created, you don't mean created by God. You mean like actually created and formed by the devil.
They were recreated and formed by the devil once they popped out of the mother's womb.
Where'd you get that
from? Read Genesis.
You don't care about. You said read Genesis.
It's in there.
So
that's why God. That's why God said that evil. Anyone that has anger, and I'm paraphrasing the quote, but anyone that has anger is evil, and you can't trust an evil person because they are of the devil. And evil hates human beings with a core. There are no words to express how much evil and the depths of how evil hates human beings. I mean, yeah, which is anger. Running, thank you, brother. I appreciate it. I got to take a break. One more hour to go. Hake is coming in with the hate news, not the fake news, but the hate news. I'll be back.
I just want to say thank you for everything that you do. You've absolutely changed my life for the positive, and I just want to thank you. I was 29-year-old beta, living at home with my mom, and just was living in fear and in doubt, and I couldn't hold down a job. And then I found you, and I started listening. I started just being more at peace, and I forgave my mom, and I forgave my father. And it's like right after that, everything just changed in my life, and I was able to get a good job, and I moved out, and I live on my own now, and everything has just changed. And I just want to say thank you, and I appreciate you for spreading that message. It really is a positive message.
Amazing. That's good, man. I want people to know God loves us in ways that there are no words to express, because you have nothing to compare it to, right? Stay with the silent prayer. You haven't seen anything yet. It gets better.
Ireland's anti-family prime minister is stepping down from Ireland's prime ministership, or whatever they call it. Something weird. Mexico doesn't want our illegals, I guess. They're trying to be like, Texas, don't enforce your law, your new law against illegals, arresting illegals. And Apple's been sued by the evil DOJ. Evil versus evil, I guess. This is the end of hour 2 of the Jesse Lee Peterson Show. It is Get It Off Your Chest Friday, March 22nd, AD 2024. There is one line open. You can call in right now. 888-77-JESSE. 1-888-775-3773. If you're listening during the hours of 6 to 9 a.m. Pacific Time, Monday through Friday. JLP will be right back. But first, Hake news on fake news. After the Jesse Lee Peterson Show, and a truncated short Hake happening today. Not that I'm that short. I'm above average, at least nowadays in America. But it's going to be about 45 minutes long because the studio is needed for something. And then, of course, thefallenstate.tv. Make sure you're following The Fallen State on Rumble, TFS on Rumble, and also Jesse Lee Peterson on Rumble. We do stream the Fallen State premiere on Jesse Lee Peterson Rumble, as well as on JLP on Cozy and other platforms, D Live, Jesse Lee Peterson D Live. And American Anchor Babies, Nick's stream will be happening at 4 p.m. Pacific Time, I do believe. Catch that. No Joel Friday TV today, okay? He's only live Monday through Thursday. Joel Friday is forced off on Fridays. Anyway, Ireland's radical homosexual prime minister resigning. Changes in Ireland earlier this week. PM Leo Varadkar, who is half Indian, by his father, who was born in Mumbai, said he would be stepping down in a surprise announcement. According to the far-left female-run outlet The Skim, Varadkar had become the country's youngest ever so-called leader when he was elected. He was Ireland's first openly gay prime minister. His resignation comes after voters rejected a referendum that he supported that would have removed language from the Irish Constitution that referenced women's duties being in the home. A mother's duties in the home. The referendum also aimed to broaden the definition of a quote-unquote family. Now Ireland's higher education minister Simon Harris could take over as prime minister, who would be even younger. And who knows, maybe even equally degenerate. Don't know. Mexico throwing their weight around. Mexico is warning a federal U.S. court that if their judges permit a controversial, meaning halfway reasonable, Texas immigration law to take effect, the two nations would experience substantial tension, according to Commie Nonsense Network, CNN, that would have far-reaching consequences for U.S.-Mexico relations. SB 4, Senate Bill 4, signed into law by Republican Governor Greg Abbott, makes entering Texas illegally a state crime, and also allows Texas officials to order immigrants, meaning illegals, to be deported. U.S. immigration enforcement generally is a function of the federal government, or dysfunction of the federal government, right? Because they don't do it. Enforcement of SB 4 would also interfere with Mexico's right to determine their own policies regarding entry into their territory, undermine U.S.-Mexico collaboration. This is a quote from attorneys for Mexico. Collaboration on a legal migration framework and border management, and hinder U.S.-Mexico trade. So said attorneys, lawyer liars for Mexico. What a mess. They can't get their country together, nor can we. It's terrible. Evil Apple, sued by the evil DOJ, Department of Injustice, and more than a dozen states, filing an antitrust lawsuit against the tech giant Apple for maintaining an iPhone monopoly. The DOJ says Apple makes up more than 70% of the smartphone market in the United States, Android being the other major competitor. The suit alleges Apple has stifled other companies from providing apps that compete with their products, with the digital wallet, smartwatches. Also alleged that Apple made it difficult for users to interact with Android devices. Android weirdos. What a mess. I'm James Hake. Now back to JLP, Hour 3.
still got to stand up strong. Face the truth about themselves to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up, stand up.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I'm Jesse Lee Peterson. Welcome to the third hour of the show today. You can get involved by calling 888-7753-773, 888-77 Jesse, Jesse. My biblical question for this week, and it's a doozy, is do you have morals and values? Do you have them? Morals and values. So where do you find them? Do you have morals and values? If so, where do you find them? Amazing question. I'll put my little 2 cents in on Sunday. We have every way that you can watch and support the show listed on JesseLeePeterson.com/show, JesseLeePeterson.com/show. And you can listen to the show on your iPhone or iPad if you're too busy doing whatever you're doing to just sit and watch it. You can podcast, of course, but you can watch it as you're doing whatever it is you're doing by calling the listen line at 641-793-1500. Follow us on social media. We're on cozy.tv/JLP, cozy.tv/JLP, and Jesse Lee Peterson on Instagram. Jesse Lee Peterson on Instagram. And also, like, follow, ring the bell, subscribe, blah, blah, blah. And to donate and have your comments read out loud, go to buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk. Buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk or rebuildingtheman.com. It's Friday. Every Friday is Get It Off Your Chest Day. Every Friday is Express Yourself Friday.
You, Tom, like a mug. You need to go and get yourself bleached because everything you say about black people and you're sitting up there looking like a tar baby.
It might sound like a semantics argument, but he's a gray alien.
I wonder if he's been smoking pot.
For some people, losing a pet is like losing a member of the family. It can be tough, and one local man is honoring his best friend in a unique way.
Watch this black man kissing a dead dog. Yeah,
Kobe
man.
was a real special dog with a great personality.
Oh.
That's what makes it so hard, because he was just a great dog.
Yeah.
Bill wanted to remember his four-legged friend by having him cremated at a local funeral home.
When one of their pets pass away, that involves a grievous situation. McComb & Sons is here to serve people that have situations involving grief.
Time was coming. I was kind of torn about how to say goodbye, and then someone told me that McComb
goodbye,
offered
dog?
this service.
Amazing. That black guy in the very first video there kissing a dead dog in a casket. First of all, why is a dog in a casket? Secondly, is it open? Thirdly, why are you kissing a dead dog? Come on now. Y'all taking this dog thing, the joke, too far. Too far. I mentioned earlier that last night we had the Women's Forum. Every Thursday night meeting for ladies only. There were some really amazing women there from Canada last night as well, all the way from Canada. And everybody and the mama showed up. And it was a meeting that would go down in history as one of the most honest, deepest, sincere women's forum that I've ever seen. It was. And it ain't easy for the ladies. That's what's so interesting about it. It's not easy to overcome that ego death, to go through that, but they're standing with it. It was, and not just one race, all races, many races there last night. Stay with it, ladies. Stay with it. Stay with it. They just didn't know how to do it before. They didn't know they had to go and forgive mama. They didn't know they had to give up trying to change themselves. They didn't know that what was really driving them to think and do the things that they've been doing. They just didn't know. They didn't know about returning to the Father, but when they heard it, the light came on. And they were like, what the? It was amazing. I want to just play this for you, then I go to the phones and super chats. Remember that black female down there in Georgia on my mind, a female by the name of Fannie Willis? And Fannie called herself going after the great white hope, right? What a joke. It's unfortunate, but I understand it, that black women are being used, deliberately being used for evil. Deliberately being used for evil, and they are quite happy to do it. Destroy the children with the same evil. It's unfortunate. But this woman, Fannie Willis, have been going after the Great White Hope. Some of you know about that. And now her life is falling apart. It's falling to pieces. I'm falling to pieces. Yeah. I'm still alive, but I'm barely breathing. It's funny. And so the other day, I guess it was in relation to another case. She had a witness on the stand, and it was one of the most funniest witnesses I've ever seen in my whole life. When I started, I couldn't stop laughing. I was like, what the? So she had this black, or I don't know, one of them had him on as a witness in a RICO trial. And the man was sitting in the witness stand, in the little stand there right by the judge. And he'd been supposed to be testifying, right? And the guy, he got so sleepy. And the reason he got really sleepy because he was high. And he could barely stay awake. And so out of nowhere, he said to the people there, the lawyer or the judge or somebody, can y'all give me some water? I'm so high. He's like, I'm so high, I'm about to fall asleep on y'all. I couldn't believe it. Black people are something else. As Hake would say, black people are so entertaining or something like that. Black people are so entertaining. Watch this from Newsweek.com.
And I asked the authorities, the police, the prosecutors, I just made it broad,
for Fannie Willis,
that they forced Jeffrey Williams into it. Did you hear you say that?
I want to introduce the story first.
Wow.
This is from Newsweek.com. A witness for Fannie Willis' office on Tuesday admitted to being so high while testifying on the stand in a RICO trial. Watch this from Law and Crime. Okay.
And I asked you, the authorities, the police, the prosecutors, I just made it broad, that they forced Jeffrey Williams into it. Did you hear you say that?
Man, can I get a water or something? I'm so high right now, y'all. I'm about to go to sleep on y'all ass. I ain't gonna tell you no lie.
Yes, you man. You're gonna take a break soon. Hang in there.
It would take a black person to do this. He's sitting in a window seat, knocked out, high. But didn't he know he had to be on witness before he went to court this morning? Or that morning, or that day? He went there high. I can see him getting high on the way. Man, I'm so high. Can I get some water or something? I'm so high about to fall asleep on y'all up here. When I first saw that, I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it. According to Newsweek.com, he has repeatedly told the court he doesn't remember anything from an armed robbery, a shooting, and a car chase in September 2013, during which prosecutors say he was the alleged getaway driver. Can you imagine you're the getaway driver and you went and did whatever the crime was, and you run it back to the car? All right, man, take off. And he's knocked out high. What a mess. Newsweek.com is reporting he has previously blamed drugs for causing his memory loss, telling the court, I took a lot of drugs back in the day because a lot of things went wrong with me and my family. What a mess! Grandpa, tell me about the good old days. Let me go to Annie. Is it Annie? Ann, first time call out of Washington State. Ann, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hi, Jesse. It's an honor to speak with you today.
Thank you, Ann. I appreciate your call.
So I'm sad I missed the women's forum. I didn't know that was yesterday, but
oh my God, it was deep.
Yes, next time I'll be sure to attend.
Right on.
Yeah, I am working on myself. I come from a very damaged family, and have generational curses from the women. And my mom and I are pretty close. I actually sent her your talk about the summation was a lot of things are the lady's fault. And my dad wasn't around because they didn't get along and things like that. But it's hard for me to be in a good marriage. Luckily, I married a serious alpha male who's older than I am. But it's hard to get along with him, and it's really painful. And I was wondering if you could give me some advice on that.
And why is it hard for you to get along with him?
I'm not sure. Maybe because he is so masculine. He was in the military, and he's very competent as a leader. He's worked for some big companies, and I come from a long history of like black women who were divorced, and he's white, so he doesn't know that kind of dynamic. I don't know exactly.
Yeah. And there's something in you that want to destroy the masculinity in him, the strength?
It's possible. I mean, subconsciously, even though I really adore that about him, it's just hard to get along.
Have you forgiven your mother yet?
Yes, I have.
You told her?
She actually,
No.
yes, I did tell her that, yeah. And I actually sent her your talk, so we talked about that. I forgave her for not having my dad around, and we openly talk about it. And also I try to have a relationship with my father now.
When you went to her, what did you say when you forgave her?
I said, I understand it was hard for you, and you didn't know, and you didn't have a good example yourself. Her dad died when she was young, of a heart attack. So it's hard for her to model behavior that she doesn't know anything about.
And how did she deal with you forgiving her?
She was really appreciative. You know, and she still has her own issues that she has to deal with as well, and coming along slowly. But
so have you forgiven your father for not being there to protect you from her?
I did talk to him about that, and just say like, hey, you know, I know that you wanted to be there, and there were circumstances that prevented you guys didn't get along. And he was also an alcoholic, so she thought it was a danger to me. But yeah, like we try to have a relationship now.
Oh, with your father?
Yes.
Are you doing the silent prayer?
No, I'm not.
And why not?
Well, I just found out about it today.
Oh, I see.
So
Okay. Well, start
Yes.
doing that. So now that you've gone and forgiven, God can bring you out of your thoughts. All thoughts are all lies all the time about anything. And so when that pull comes to go against your husband like that, to try to destroy him, I want you to realize that it's not you per se, it's not you, but it's the spirit of evil that hates the man. And it dwells in your thoughts and emotion, right? And it hates the man because he's created in the image of God, and it want to work through you to destroy him. But he'll make you think, the spirit of evil will make you think that is you, and it's really not. So you want to start doing the silent prayer so you can stop identifying with thoughts and feelings, and eventually that will be taken away from you, and you and your husband can have a marriage that will last until death do you part.
I like that. Thank you, Jesse.
Yeah.
I'll do that.
Yeah, so just stop calling anger you, jealousy and revenge and all that. It's not you. Those are evil spirits that made a home in you when your mother turned you away from your father.
Makes sense.
What does
Yes, I have a lot of bad thoughts all the time, and I
Yeah.
think I try to get rid of it, but it's hard.
You can't, and the reason it's hard to do it because of yourself, you cannot get rid of thoughts. They are
Right.
spirits that made a home in you, and they live in your mind and body, but they're not you. It's not you at all. And the problem is you've been thinking all your life that they were you, and there was something you could do about it, but you can't. You just have to see it. And seeing it, those thoughts and feelings, and being aware of them without calling them you, will destroy them. They will have to leave your body and go make a home in someone else, because evil spirits live in human beings.
Well, I believe it. Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
How does your husband deal with you when you're acting that way?
He's a very strong man. He's totally unfazed. It's a God's blessing. He doesn't even acknowledge it.
Oh, nice.
He's strong. He's strong.
That must really tick you off when he doesn't even acknowledge it.
Sometimes, yes.
Because the
But
devil,
he loves me dearly.
the devil needs the acknowledgement. It needs you. It needs either you to overreact to it in your mind and body, or it needs somebody else to overreact to whatever you're trying to do to them, so the devil can get a false sense of life. It hates it when it can't get the person or you to overreact to it.
Oh, that's really awesome. I like that.
Amazing, huh?
Thank you.
So stop calling it you. Watch it. Do you have kids?
Oh, yes, we do. We have lovely, beautiful children.
Oh, well, be careful, because you pass that spirit on to the children. And just
Yes.
as your mother passed it on to you, you'll pass it on to the children, and you'll destroy his children.
Yeah, that's my biggest fear, because I don't want that to happen.
Yeah, because if you have anger, you don't have patience, because you have no love. Anyone that has anger has no love. And so kids have a lot of energy and a lot of demands and stuff like that. And you don't want to pass that lack of patience onto them, and which is not love. And you want them to be close to the father, so make sure that, deliberately turn them away from their fathers.
No, never. Yes.
I wish you well, Ann.
Yes, thank you. I'll join you on Thursday. Thank you so much, sir.
You're welcome. And the meeting for the ladies is the third Thursday of every month. And for the men, it's the first Thursday of the month.
Okay, I'll be there. Thank you, sir.
Right on. I wish you well. Let me know how it goes.
Yes, will do. Thank you, Jesse.
All right. Amazing. 888-7753-773 if you want to jump in there. Jody is a first-time caller out of North Carolina. Jody, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Jesse, I want to say one thing. It's amazing and honor to get to talk to you, sir. I don't have a question, Jesse. I just want to let you know that you changed a lot of things in my mind, my thinking. I was raised by my father alone. My mother, it was in my life, but she was there, but they moved around. And when you talk about the alpha father, I consider my father an alpha father because of what he taught me. Unfortunately, he passed away about 2 weeks ago. But, Jesse, I just got so much respect for you. You tell it how it is, and I have so much respect for that. You're not politically correct, and I just love that about you. It don't matter if they like it or not. You're going to tell it how it is. And another thing I agree with you, Jesse, is racism. I don't think there's racism. I think there's just a few ignorant people out there who don't like somebody because of their skin color. And I think that the Democrats are responsible for some of that, the race baiting, and it really just makes me sick. It seems like every time they try to come together, they want to divide each other just for some votes. And I hope we get the great white hope back in there so he can get this mess straightened out, because Biden has got us in a bad mess. And if he gets 4 more years, we're done for, Jesse. I think, in my opinion. How do you feel about it?
You're right. If the Democrats get 4 more years of control over our country, it's gone forever, ever. There ain't no way it'll ever return again. They're gonna overnight. We think that these things are awful, and they are very bad. It's just gonna get evil. It won't come back, Jody. It'll be over.
And I'm not even gonna lie to you, Jesse. It's got me scared. I see it as one way or the other. I see it as they're going to start World War III. They're going to start a civil war, or they're going to start a race war. They're just warmongers, and don't even get me started on Ukraine. They're sending all this money to Ukraine, and they want to keep sending the money to Ukraine, and they won't do nothing about the border. They said they'll give the money to Ukraine if they do something about the border. And what really gets me upset is the Democrats want to blame it on the Republicans about the border situation, and it's just not true. And I asked the other day on Truth Social, I went to the Democrat side, and I asked them, I said, I'm not trying to be smart. I said, but could you tell me one good thing that Biden has done since he has been in office? And I did not hear a single thing.
Yeah.
And so, excuse me?
You're right about that, because there's nothing good he has done. Not one.
Nothing. I can't think of nothing. The only thing good is he drove their country down.
Yeah.
And, Jesse, right now, America is the laughing stock in the world. These other countries are just laughing us and laughing us. And I don't know what's wrong with that. And Kamala Harris, she's even worse. And
oh, my God.
It's just like they got a lot of yes people around them. And I do really believe that Obama has is running part of the Biden campaign, because Biden, you can see him, even any speech you see him do, not only does he have a teleprompter, but he's got that little small book he flips through. You cannot answer him one question without him having to flip through that little bit.
Yeah. What a mess.
What the?
That's right. Jody, thank you for your call. I totally appreciate it. And
Hey, I want to tell you I appreciate it too, Jesse. I watch you every day, and I thank the world of you, brother. And you just keep doing what you're doing, and I love you, brother.
I love you too. Thank you so much.
Yes,
Amazing.
Yes, sir.
Amazing. 888-7753-773. Let me retype these notes. I'm not getting any responses. Hold on a minute, folks. Oh, okay. All right. And I typed one to Sean. I haven't heard back yet. Okay. Giovanni out of Maryland. Giovanni, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, what's up, Jesse?
All is well.
Hey, this is Giovanni from Baltimore.
Oh, how you doing, man? What the?
Yeah, I'm doing well, man. It's been a while. Hadn't talked to you in a while.
I know. What the?
Yeah, man, I gotta come out there and see you, man.
It says Maryland, and now it says New York, but you're from Baltimore, right?
Yeah, Baltimore, man. You know.
Yeah, that's why I didn't realize. Well, good to hear from you, man.
Likewise, man. Hey, you know, I don't know if you remember the lawsuit that we had against Baltimore City Public Schools.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so we're in the deposition phase right now. And when you talk about the migrants, like a lot of the principals in the deposition have said that, they're seeing an influx in Spanish-speaking learners coming into the schools.
Yeah.
And a lot of them haven't been to school before, or, and they're coming from out of state. It's always in the phrasing, right, to make it sound all rosy.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of Spanish-speaking learners. They're coming from out of state, and a lot of them are coming from out of the country. This is the way they frame it. But they're not. There's no outrage about it here, and I find that interesting, right?
Yeah.
You saw the outrage, in New York and Chicago and some of the other, more liberal areas, but you're not seeing it here. And I think it's because the mayor and the politicians here want to be, bootlickers for Biden and the governor here, man. It's bad.
Plus, they really don't care about the blacks anyway. It's all about getting in so they can get money and so-called power. And to add to what you're saying is, I was talking to some people the other day, and they have kids in the inner city schools here in L.A., and they were talking about how not only are the illegals coming in and taking over the classroom, and the black kids are being put to the side because a lot of these kids don't speak English, and the violent crime that is happening between the gang members, the black gangs and the illegal gang members, is out of control. But you don't hear the black media, you don't hear the black so-called leaderships talking about it at all, because they want to give the impression it's about racism and white people don't want them here, and they're allowing the black people to be destroyed in their own neighborhood, and they just don't care.
Absolutely, man. It's so sad, man.
What a sad way to live. Giovanni, it's so good to hear from you, man. Call me again, and I hope to see you soon.
Absolutely.
All right, buddy.
All right.
Bye. 888-7753-773. A quick break. One line open. You want to jump in there? We're going to move calls to Super Chat. The treasure chest is now open on D-Live. Back in a moment. We have been rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man for the last 27 years. And we tutor counsel. We have a home for young men. We have a credit union that we started so that we can loan the money to the guys and they pay back with interest, because a lot of these guys that come from, as you know, broken families, and they have no credit. And some of them, their mothers used their credit and abused it when they were kids. Their mothers screwed up their own credit, and then they got credit in the children's name. And black mothers tend to do that a lot. It's amazing. So we need your support. Continue to support us. And if you haven't donated to us, please do. Go to rebuildingtheman.com, rebuildingtheman.com, or call 800-411-BOND, 800-411-2663, all right? Absolutely appreciate it. Okay, welcome back. What a mess. Couple announcements. The Hake Report is coming up at the top of this hour. TheHakeReport.com. And the Hake Report is only going to be about 45 minutes today. I don't know, because at 10 o'clock we need to use the studio for something else real fast. And so he may come back. I doubt it, but he may come back on. So he's on from 9 to 11 a.m. Pacific time. And then at 12 noon Pacific time, and every Friday at 12 noon Pacific, brand new episode of the FallenState.tv. I had a very Mamma Mia discussion with Fatima Gilliam, and she is a racial ethicist. That's totally sound like a made-up word. Attorney and author of Race Rule. What your black friend won't tell you. Watch this.
Next time on The Fallen State.
Are you black or white?
I am black.
Did y'all have a white mailman? Maybe you should put a sign on that says, I'm black.
Jesse, I think out the gates it's clear that you and I have completely divergent political views on things.
Could the black person be racist as well?
No, because I don't believe that black people can be racist.
What's wrong with you? The great white hope. What do you think?
I think that those look like they are perfect as dog chew toys.
What a mess! You look white to me. And support the Fallen State right there. TheFallenState.tv/donate or locals.com. And then the American Anchor Baby at noon. No, not noon. 4 p.m. Pacific time. The American Anchor Baby at 4 p.m. Pacific time. Flying high. Not off pot, not off fentanyl, not off acid, not off anything but natural energy given to him by God. One of the best pilots on this side of heaven, and he was well trained on Google. So he knows what he's doing at 4 p.m. Pacific time. I'll see you at church on Sunday. Everybody and their mama. If you're in the LA area, come on down. If not, you can watch it live at rebuildingtheman.com/church, rebuildingtheman.com/church, 11 a.m. Pacific time, 11 a.m. Pacific time, 2 p.m. Eastern time. And thank you for your tithe and offering there, your support. We got a lot of work to do, and I do appreciate it. All right. And last but not least, for counseling. And we have the best counseling on this service on this side of heaven by phone, Skype, or walk-in. But you have to make an appointment. Go to rebuildingtheman.com, rebuildingtheman.com, or call 800-411-BOND. 800-411-2663. You can also make donations there, all right? I have the best books on this side of heaven. My books are amazing. I highly recommend you buy copies. Buy copies. I will sign them. My first book, From Rage to Responsibility. From Rage to Responsibility. And then the scam, how the black leadership exploits black America. They were doing it way back then, and they're doing it now. Scam, how the black leadership exploits black America. And then the 7 guaranteed steps to a spiritual, family, and financial success guide. A little small pocket guide we put together just to kind of help you if you want to start a business, if you're in business, or you have a job. You follow those steps, you cannot go wrong. But you got to do them. Be a doer and not just a talker. You got to be a doer and not a talker. And it will work. And last but not least, the antidote. Healing America from the poison of hate, blame, and victimhood. It just tops it off. It is deep, deep, deep. I highly recommend them. And again, I will sign them. Go to rebuildingtheman.com, rebuildingtheman.com, or call 800-411-BOND to order the books. All right? And whomever you want me to sign them to, I'll do it. Rebuildingtheman.com. Or call 800-411-BOND. 800-411-2663. Amazing. Let me go to Eric, a first-time caller out of Indiana. Eric, with a C. Welcome to the show.
Jesse, really nice to meet you, man. I've been watching you for a while. I love your show, man.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I have a question. You was talking to a man earlier about porn addiction.
Yeah.
I just want to ask you, how can I overcome my porn addiction problem? I've been struggling with it since I was 12 years old.
Amazing.
And, amazing.
Number one, never call it an addiction anymore. Don't put a name to it. The worst thing you can do is put a name to it. Know that it's not you, but it's coming from somewhere else, right? And it's not you. Number two, don't struggle with it. Give up the fight. Lay your weapon down and let the light of God fight the battle for you, because it's dark, it's evil, and it wants to destroy you. So it's not you. So here's what you do. When the urge comes, be aware of the urge to do it. And just don't jump up and do it. Just, try not to do it. But let's say the urge is so bad, so strong, you can't help yourself. Be aware of yourself going to the computer or turning on the TV or whatever you do. Be aware. Do not go unconscious. And be aware of yourself doing that. And I promise you, the urge will be taken away. It's spiritual, and there's nothing you can do about it. And the more you fight against it, and the more you judge it, calling it you, the more power you give it over you. It's not you at all.
You're right, Justin.
It's just lustful thoughts. And thoughts don't have power if you don't believe that they have power. They have none. Don't fight with it. Be aware of it. Have you forgiven? Have you forgiven your mother?
No. Like as in like what do you mean, like forgive her like in anything, or?
Have you forgiven your mother?
Some things, no, I haven't. I can't. I have to admit, no. Some things I haven't forgiven my mother in.
Have you forgiven her?
No.
And why not?
I just feel like some things, like maybe I feel like maybe she got in the way of my life, some things like that, and I don't know. It's a long story, Jesse.
You're not going to be able to overcome porn until you forget your mother, because the only reason you're into it is you hate your mother, so you hate all women, and you're trying to get love from them, and women don't have love to give. They only have hate. And so you hate all women because you hate your mother, and that's why you're into it. You got to forgive your mother. You got to face her and forgive her, because what she did to you, she could not help herself. Her mother did it to her. And
understand that.
So that anger that you have is of evil, and it came from your mother. She caused you to become angry, and the moment you became angry, you became attracted to what you hate.
Yes, sir.
So you got to go and forgive her, and then God, the truth, the love, will destroy the darkness of your imagination. Your old nature will be taken away from you. And why haven't you forgiven her already?
I don't know. I don't know, for various reasons. Jesse, real quick, I have a quick question. Why do you say that, like, when people like are, going through stuff in life, why do you say that they hate their mothers? Like, I'm just curious about that.
Right.
Me, obviously, with my porn addiction, I don't hate my mom at all. I really hate myself, man. I don't think my addiction doesn't have anything to do with hating my mom, because I don't hate her at all. I just really hate myself, man.
But don't call it your addiction. It's not your addiction. Don't say that again, because you're owning it. And you're justified by your words. You're condemned by them. It's not your addiction. But, so you never get angry at your mother?
Not really, man. Not too much. I can't really say. Just on certain things, but not always.
Do you ever get angry at your mother?
Yes, I do.
Well, anger is hatred. And in the good old days, when boys were boys and men were men, they used to call it hatred, because that's what it is. But down through the years, they have changed the word, and it used to be called resentment. And that was too powerful, too bad of a word, so they changed it to anger. Anger is hatred. And every human being that's born through the woman, and they all are, they hate their mothers. And that's why God said you must be born again of the Father. The anger that you feel toward her is hatred. And that's why you're addicted to this idea of women in that way.
Okay.
Anger is hatred. But like I said, they've changed the word. They softened the words to make people feel better about being wrong.
But do you think that like it also comes from me hating myself also?
Which self do you hate?
I think I hate the idea of me not doing enough, like not improving enough in my life. Like there's a lot of things I still want to accomplish in my life right now. I'm 25, about to be 26 tomorrow on my birthday, but
happy early birthday.
Yeah, thank you, man.
And so who are you?
Well, I am just a regular guy that's staying with his mom for now.
You staying with your mama?
Yeah.
See, you can't get away from mama.
Yeah.
And so who are you?
I'm just a regular guy. I'm nobody special.
And so, but you still didn't tell me who you are. You said you hate yourself. Which self do you hate?
I hate
Describe the
myself.
self that you hate.
I hate my complaining self because I'm always complaining about myself. I always blame myself. I'm not the type of person to blame like the white man for my problems. I'm blaming myself for why I'm not improving in life and stuff like that. I'm tired of complaining about what I didn't do and why I didn't do this and that and like that type of stuff. That's who I am. That type of who I am type of person.
My point is there is no self. There is no you.
Yes, that's true. I mean, I just feel like that,
And there is no such thing as improving yourself. You cannot improve yourself. That's an illusion. That's why you're judging yourself, because you can't improve yourself because there is no self to improve. You've been lied to about that as well.
Yeah, you're probably true. I mean, you're probably right, Jesse. Yeah, you're probably right. I have been told a lie on that. It's self-improvement.
You just want to live your life and do not compare your life to anyone. Don't compare yourself to anyone. I don't care how rich or poor. If somebody is out there striving, trying to be important or be something, just wish them well, but don't you try to be like that. If someone you know has the biggest house on the block, just wish them well, but don't you try to be like that. You simply live your life, and life will work for you, and it will be amazing. Never, ever, ever, ever compare yourself to anyone or anything. And if you don't compare yourself, there's no self to hate.
That is so true. That's amazing.
Amazing.
You're right,
But you got to face your mother and get away from her, because you complain, you act just like your mama. You have become just like what you hate.
That's true.
You're gonna have
Maybe that's what it is.
It's 100. I promise you, if you see that you have this anger, and don't let Satan say, well, you're not angry all the time. If you have the spirit of anger in you, you're angry all the time. Even the good feeling is anger. The bad feeling is anger. It's anger, period. And it's what's controlling you. It's not you. It's in the mind and emotion. And it comes from being angry. And you became that way when you resented your mother.
Okay. Makes sense.
And you're never going to change. God cannot and will not change that until you forgive. And when you forgive your mother, I'm sorry for resenting you. You recreated me in your image. You turned me away from my father. And I don't like you for that. I'm angry about that. I realize now you can help yourself. And don't ask her for forgiveness. You forgive her, and God will forgive you, and the light will come on, and your life will become amazing. But you got to face your mama.
Yeah. You're right, Jesse.
And have you forgiven your father for not protecting you from your mother?
Yeah, I forgive my father.
You told him?
Yeah. I'm like a lot of things he told me, throughout the years, I didn't want to believe it because I was a child, didn't know anybody was telling me, my mom was trying to take me, away from my father. So, he was like, I found out that, my mom been lying on some things about, he's like, my dad was telling me that my mom didn't want me to, she didn't want, oh, God. I'm over here having a Joe Biden moment. I'm sorry.
Your mother is evil. And your mother will destroy you if you stay around her. And that's why you're suffering, because she turned you away from your father, and you've been yearning for your father. And she hates that because she hates your father.
Yeah.
And she hates you for loving your father, wanting to be with him.
Yeah, that's true. I still talk to my father occasionally. on a few things. It's just that, well, my father isn't perfect either, man.
That's why you
there's a
have to
little bit of
forgive him. That's why you have to forgive him and her because they have done the best they could. It wasn't the right thing, but that's all they had.
Yeah. Could I tell you a little bit about I feel my mom and my dad? Okay, they're not both perfect parents. I love both my parents.
You
they
don't,
have this.
you don't love them yet. You will love them when you forgive them.
Yeah, yeah.
But go ahead.
They have this victimhood mindset, like where they tried to put in my head since I was a child that white people are trying to, attack you because you're black and you can't make it in this world. You can't get these big business jobs because you're black. And I used to believe that, but then when I grew up and now I'm starting to see the world a little bit more clearer on that stuff. It's like this world is not about racism. It's about what you can make out of your life.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
And yeah. And then, when especially my mom, she was so hard because, she's so frightened of the black male. And it's just it's such BS.
Yeah.
Like a black man can make anything out of this life.
Yeah.
My dad was telling me also about the black moms, how they don't see their sons as they don't see them as them being successful. So they try to be so overprotective over them and try to tell them you can't do this stuff on your own. And also, Jesse, I have autism, so also my mom's she see me as she make excuses on why she think she can't do simple stuff me driving. She make excuses saying that I have anger problems and I can't do this and simple little stuff.
Well, you do have anger problem, but it came from her. The anger that's in you came from your mother.
Mm-hmm.
And I will encourage you to do the silent prayer, my silent prayer at rebuildingtheman.com/prayer. I want you to start doing that. I recommend you start doing that. I want you to forgive your parents because your parents were wrong for trying to blame it on the white man when it was coming from them and not the white man at all. And forgive them, and things will start to change for you.
Yes, sir.
All right?
All right.
Let me know how it goes.
Thank you, Jesse, for your time, man. I appreciate you, man.
You're welcome. Let me know how it goes, buddy.
All right, Jesse.
All right. Amazing. It's happening in the home. Super chat.
Super chats. Matthew on YouTube bought 3 coffees. I'm planning a week-long trip to see Bond. Can I squat on one of y'all's couch? No squatters.
No squatters. But if you do need a hotel or something recommended to you, contact producer@JesseLeePeterson.com. Producer@JesseLeePeterson.com, and he'll be able to point you to a hotel.
John bought 10 coffees, listened to the Roseanne Barr interview of JLP yesterday. Incredible. #Kip. Keep it pithy.
If you need to check out my interview with Roseanne, I was on her show. She's been on MyFallenState.tv, but I was on RoseanneBarr.com. It was deep. It was amazing. Check it out on Roseanne Barr. Amazing.
Daniel from Texas, I want to get this off my chest. Know which God you serve. There's a God of this world who's misled and destroyed since the beginning of the creation. Know our true Father, the one true God. Not everyone gets to heaven. Keep rocking, Jesse. Amazing work. God bless you.
Thank you. I appreciate your support.
And bought a coffee. Thank you for the advice. My husband's been saying something similar, but you put it in a way I could take action.
Right
Looking
on.
forward to joining you. Silent prayer, women's forum. Pray for the healing of all women and flourishing of men. Paternal protection of children. Now is the time to take action against evil. The buck stops with me.
That's right.
Nice.
Amazing. Thank you, Ann.
Keep them pithy, guys. And thank you, guys. I do believe that is all for now.
Amazing. Thank you all. I do appreciate it. I am out of time. The Hake Report is coming up now. The Hake, Hake report.com. At the Fallen State at 12 noon Pacific time. And the American Anchor Baby at 4 p.m. Pacific time. And I'll see you at church on Sunday. If the Lord is willing and the creek don't rise, rebuildingtheman.com/church. Get on that straight and narrow, folks. I promise you, you get there and stay there, You won't regret it. Do the silent prayer, rebuildingtheman.com/prayer. Thank you for your support. Amazing getting off your chest, Jay. I do appreciate it. Have a good one, folks. And callers, Andres, Bruce, a first time call out of New Jersey. Somebody just hung up. I'm out of time. Amazing. Take care.
Joel Friday here. Look, stand up. We got fighting to do. We gotta show them who boss. He put a Viking in you. He put that lightning in you. Igniting the truth. But you beg and blame and lie and hate and never wanna stand for the truth. So what you planning to do? You understanding to lose. You better go talk to your mama. Better stop all the drama. Better drop all the trauma. Boy, you better stand up, man up. Put your hand up and hut. Cause if we don't, then we lose. And then we gotta hear the fake news. Whoa.
So you get something went wrong, but face the truth about yourself and just seek first God's kingdom, cause you must know thyself so you get something went wrong, but face the truth about yourself and just seek first God's kingdom, cause I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way.
So, here's what I recommend. I invite you to download my silent prayer, and I want you to start doing it. You just download it, get the points of how to do it, and then after a while, you just do it on your own. It's going to point you in the right direction that your life will be returned to you from God. He will give you your life back, because anyone and all people who has anger, they're not themselves. You are the person that you are angry at. That's why it's so important to get to know yourself so that you can see who you're angry at. And if you're doing the hooping and hollering prayers and things like that, some people get up, oh, praise the Lord, hoop and holler, bless my mama, bless my daddy. Continue to do it. Do both. You will see if you want to stay with the hooping and hollering, or do you want to be still and know God. So my gift to you, no charge, at rebuildingtheman.com/church. So I asked the question, are you better than a child molester? I've discovered over the 30 years of counseling, the one thing that's missing, and I think because it's not taught in the homes or talked about, we don't have examples of it, right, is love. Our theme this year is to bring back Christianity, to love God with all our heart, soul, and might, our neighbor as ourselves, and to endure. And when you're in a fallen state, people will judge the molester but think they're better than the molester. And I ask, well, why do you think you're better? When I realized it doesn't matter what you think about yourself or how much you have or don't have or how you accomplish things in life or don't. If you have no love, you have nothing.